Hi again, this is James at World War II Jeep and Rifle. Today I'm going to show you how to modify the LS-454 loudspeaker connector to be used with a PRC-77 or PRC-25 military radio. These loudspeakers are cool because you can put them inside your vehicle and hear any kind of radio traffic without keeping the handset close to your ear all the time. But the LS-454 needs to have its connector rewired. There are two wires inside here, and the hot speaker wire on the LS-454 comes stock wired up to the pin E, and it needs to be moved over to pin B in order for it to be compatible with the PRC-77. So the tools you need to get into this connector are a couple of wrenches, a crescent wrench and a regular set of pliers, and something to kind of stab this blue connector piece out with. And then once that's out, a soldering iron and some other normal soldering equipment to desolder pin from the wire from pin E and then resolder it onto pin B. So first step here is to get inside the connector, and that's not too hard, but I'll show you. There's a nut, kind of grommet here. Pull that out, and then there's a secondary retainer that you can get out. Like that. Pull this out. Then you can take a ballpoint pen or something else and press the blue connector out. So with the blue connector out, we can see that there are two active wires inside the cable. The pins on the blue side of this connector are labeled, and I'll do my best here to try to get a view. But on top here is pin A, and there's B, C, D, and E. The wire, this white wire here, is stock soldered to pin E, and we need to desolder it and move it over to pin B. Okay, all of it's labeled on here. If you've done the steps so far, next is soldering. So I'll get that equipment fired up and resolder that wire. Then I'll show you how to connect it back in. Ooh, hot. Okay, I've pulled the pin of the wire out of socket E. I'm going to move it over into socket B. That is the hot speaker wire for the output, the audio output of the PRC-77 pin B. Okay, you have to be sure you don't get a cold solder joint, and that looks like a good solder. Alright. Then what you will notice as you start to reassemble this connector after the pin has been swapped is that there are two tabs keying the blue plastic connector module, and those mate with tab recesses in the connector housing. So you have to line up the tabs on the blue connector with the recesses on the connector housing. Carefully line those up. Press it in. Make sure that the tabs are good and straight with the recesses. And then I'll use just a little screwdriver trying to position it in the middle of the connector where there are no holes or anything, and give it a press for the rest of the way. And once those tabs are perfectly joined up with the connector, then you should be good. Alright. You can reassemble it in reverse order. Couple of grommets. Then the first retainer. Get it in by hand and then switch over to the pliers and crescent wrench. Tighten it up. And finally, the last retaining nut. All right. Now let's test this thing out. So here's my handset. Turning it on. This is audio straight out of the handset. I'll go ahead and plug this into the second audio connector on the radio unit. All right. All set. So, there you go. That's all it takes. You can get this loudspeaker LS-454U, which is wired for use in different radios, to work in the field with your PRC-25 or PRC-77 setup as an external loudspeaker. Pretty easy. If you liked what you saw, let us know. Subscribe to our channel and we'll show you more. See you next time. Thanks.